Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and this is a video response to Venom Fang X, the limitations of science and scientism. The questions he brings up, we talked about in a basic philosophy of art class, and what Venom Fang X isn't telling you is that with art and with creations, it is interpretive, and the idea and interpretation that Venom Fang X told us about his picture isn't as clear-cut in biblical literature of what his perceived creator intended, if there is such a thing. So we're left with the multi-denominational ideas of what that creator is, just like we would be left with the multi-interpretations of what Venom Fang X's image would have been if he had not have told us. And that's one of the downfalls of this argument. And basically, we don't use science to prove everything that's true. However, we can't rely on ourselves to be sure that things are true, simply because the senses are not all that reliable. I mean, plenty of people heard things that really weren't there, and plenty of people have seen things that really weren't there, and people have thought things and have done things that maybe they really didn't do. So there's a lot to be said about that. So Venom Fang picture, it's just that maybe like a good art therapist would have figured that out, that this person was trapped. So using scientists, using some science, they could have arrived at that interpretation. However, if Venom Fang X just left his picture, just took off, and we came upon it, or it was in an art gallery, and that was the only one, we would go by and there would have been, just like with religion today, bazillions interpretations of the work. And that's what biblical literature is, friends. That's what the biblical message is, or works left by cultures that is left to the individual to interpret to himself. And based on his feelings, based on his understanding, and based on his worldview, and also the limitations of all those, you'll get bazillions of interpretations. However many men there are, 6 billion. That's a lot of different interpretations, and that's how we view it, and that's how we view art. Nobody can define what art is. That was a class in philosophy of art where the thing was define what art is. Definition of art, and some punk wrote art is got like an A plus, because if you see it there, it's correct. We could argue about the colors. We could talk about all that, just like we talk about theology and doctrine and what is the true meaning of creation, or the true meaning of the religious literature. So until everybody collects that under one roof, which they never will, because if they do, a lot of other people will be killed, slicing and dicing over interpretations, just like, it'd be kind of like, I thought about this many times. If a piece of art's hanging on the wall, say like a famous piece like Rembrandt, and there were Rembrandt fundamentalists who said, laid down the law on how you could interpret that picture, or kill you, then of course they would be R, F, RFs, Rembrandt fundamentalists. But there are some pretty hardcore artists out there, just like there are in religions, and that's what religion is, friends. Just like that picture, Venom Fang X, religion, like it also, is an expression, and the interpretation is an abstract expression, and how we view the world is an expression of our existence. However, interpretation is much different than science, and it's not a philosophy. If we want to do arithmetic, we simply take to addition. So things can be defined, repeated over and over again, and even things that aren't seen, like gravity, um, they could pretty much be proven every time. Yeah, you just fall over. There it is. Even though you can't really see it. However, um, some other things are much harder, and religion is one of them. And the biggest problem that God has right now, if he exists, is the problem of suffering. Take care, friends. Remember, everybody's thinking alike, and somebody isn't thinking.